Paulo Jorge Gomes Bento is a Portuguese retired footballer and a current manager. A defensive midfielder with tackling ability and work rate as his main assets, he played for two of the major three teams in his country, amassing top division totals of 284 games and 16 goals over the course of 11 seasons, and also spent 4 years in Spain. He represented the Portuguese national team in one World Cup and one European Championship. Bento took up a coaching career in 2005, managing Sporting for 4 years and 4 months, with relative success, and also being in charge of the national team in 2 major tournaments. Playing career: born in Lisbon, Bento played professionally in his homeland for Compares da Madra, Vita Clube Rio de Guimarães Pounders and SL Benfica, and had a 4-year abroad spell with La Liga side Real Oviedo, helping the Asturias club always maintain its top-flight status before moving to Sporting Clube de Portugal, where he finished his career as a player. With the latter, he was part of the star-studded team that achieved the double in 2002 under the direction of Laszlo Ni, contributing with 31 games and 1 goal in the league and playing alongside Mario Jardel and João Vieira Pinto among others. Bento gained 35 caps for the Portuguese national team, his first game coming on January 15, 1992 in a 0-0 draw with Spain and his last being the 0-1 loss to South Korea on June 14, 2002 in the 2002 FIFA World Cup. He also played at UEFA Euro 2000 where, along with teammates Abel Xavier Euro, who played with him at Oviedo for 2 seasons a Euro, and Nuno Gomes, he was suspended due to bad behaviour, during the semi-final loss with France. Managerial career: Sporting. After an emotional 2004 retirement, aged 35, Bento got the job of Sporting's youth team coach. He won the Junior Championship in 2005, and developed a base to the future. After the sacking of José Copyright Facero midway through 2005 Euro 06 season, he was promoted to first-team duties in spite of being relatively inexperienced. Despite a slow start, Bento managed an impressive turnaround of Sporting's fortunes in the second half of the campaign, as a series of 10 consecutive wins placed Sporting within touching distance of leaders and eventual league champions FC Porto, as Sporting came second in that and the following season, achieving direct qualification to the UEFA Champions League. He was now firmly established as a top-flight manager, being responsible for bringing youth products Nani, João Moutinho and Miguel Veloso into the spotlight. In June 2007, Bento signed a 2-year contract extension. Sporting had a turbulent pre-season in preparation for 2007 Euro 08, with defence mainstays Rodrigo Tello and Marco Carneiro leaving the club while Portuguese international goalkeeper Ricardo was sold to Real Betis. With little resources to invest, the club brought Eastern promises Euro Marat Ismailov, Vladimir Stojkovic and Simon Vukaeva Euro aboard. After a very irregular season, Bento managed to lead Sporting to an unprecedented 3rd consecutive qualification for the Champions League, with another second-place finish in spite of spending most of the season below 3rd place, pipping Guimarães Pounders and Benfica in the final matchday. He also retained the domestic cup, beating Porto in the final after knocking out eternal rivals Benfica in the last 4 stage with a 5-3 triumph. Bento's team broke a number of long-standing club records, including the first season without home defeats since 1987, the first capture of back-to-back Portuguese Cup since 1974 and the first time since 1962 that Sporting finished 3 consecutive seasons in the top 2 league positions. At the age of 38 he also became only the 5th manager in the history of Portuguese football to win back-to-back Portuguese Cups, alongside the likes of Janos Biri, John Mortimer or José Copyright Maria Pedroto. On July 15, 2008, The Sun and the Daily Telegraph reported that Manchester United were planning to hire Bento as manager Alex Ferguson's new assistant after the departure of previous number 2 Carlos Queiroz to manage the Portuguese national team. He quickly denied any speculation, and reaffirmed his intention to stay at Sporting. In preparation for the 2008 Euro 09 season, Bento was given leeway to add a number of experienced players to his squad. In this manner, Fabio Rakembach and Carneiro completed their return to Sporting, while Har copyright LDER Postiga swapped Porto for the Lisbon club. Furthermore, the footballing rights for both Ismailov and Lendrokmi were acquired, while the organisation successfully fended off widespread interest in highly rated youngsters Moutinho and Veloso. On August 16, 2008, Bento managed Sporting to a clear 2-0 victory in the Super Cup over champions Porto, at the opening of the new campaign. One of the players that were kept in the team despite heavy criticism, Rui Patricio, was a key element and saved a penalty from Luco Gonzalez during the second half. This win raised the manager's tally in cup finals against counterpart Gisoldo Ferreira to 3-0, and it also marked the first ever capture of back-to-back Portuguese Super Cups in the Lions' history, thus adding to the list of records broken during his tenure. Already the second most successful manager in the history of the club in terms of trophies won, only surpassed by the legendary Joseph Sabo, Bento gained the nickname Puppeteer section as a consequence of the 4 pieces of silverware added to Sporting's cabinet under his command. On November 4, 2008, Bento led Sporting to a 1-0 home win over FC Shakhtar Donetsk, therefore mathematically securing automatic qualification for the knockout stages of the Champions League for the first time in Sporting's history. In the process, his team also broke the club's record number of points in UEFA's main competition and remarkably did so with 2 matches to spare, becoming the first team to qualify from the group phase. Later, Bento also leads Sporting to break the record for most goals suffered by a team in a Champions League knockout round, after a 1-12 aggregate ousting at the hands of FC Bayern Munich at the round of 16. In the league, another second place to Porto befell, with the season also featuring the controversial League Cup final loss against Benfica, on penalties. That heavy Champions League ousting marked the beginning of fan discontentment towards Bento, especially regarding the team's playing style, continued until the end of the campaign, where presidential elections were held. Supported by the winning candidate José copyright Eduardo Betancourt, he signed a 2-year contract extension. In spite of maintaining the same base squad and adding the talent of Marta Fernandes or Felipe Caicedo, Sporting was unable to start the new season brightly, knocked out in the Champions League playoff round by ACF Fiorentina on away goals. The club's form slumped quickly, and after 9 matches the Lions found themselves mired in 7th place, 12 points behind leaders SC Brugge. After a 1-1 home draw in the UEFA Europa League group stage against Latvian side FK Ventspils on November 5, 2009, and facing considerable pressure to step down, Bento resigned as manager of Sporting. His spell was the second longest in the history of the club, and was marked by a strong style but also by a cult of more defensive approaches to the game. Portugal. On September 20, 2010, following Queiroz's dismissal after a poor start to the Euro 2012 qualifying campaign, Bento was named his successor, initially until the last match of that stage. His first game in charge came on October 8, a 3-1 win against Denmark in Porto. On November 17, Portugal defeated World Cup champion Spain 4-0 in Lisbon, imposing the largest defeat to its Iberian neighbours since June 13, 1963. He led the national team to the Euro 2012 semi-finals in Poland and Ukraine, where it narrowly lost to eventual champions Spain on penalties. After a second-place finish in Group F in the 2014 World Cup qualifiers, Bento led Portugal to a 4-2 aggregate win over Sweden in the playoffs, securing a spot at the finals in Brazil. On April 9, 2014, he extended his contract until after Euro 2016, but the national team exited in the World Cup's group stage in spite of a 2-1 success against Ghana in the last match, with the United States progressing on goal difference instead. On September 11, 2014, after the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign began with a 0-1 home defeat to Albania, the Portuguese Football Federation announced Bento's dismissal. Managerial statistics, as of October 14, 2014. Honours: Player, Estlau Madra, Tour Section de Portugal, 1989 Euro 90, Benfica, Tour Section de Portugal, 1995 Euro 96, Sporting, Primeira Liga, 2001 a Euro 02, Tour Section de Portugal, 2001 a Euro 02, Superta Section Candido de Oliveira, 2002, Manager, Sporting, Tour Section de Portugal, 2006 a Euro 07, 2007 a Euro 08, Superta Section Candido de Oliveira, 2007, 2008, Tour Section da Liga, runner-up 2007 a Euro 08, 2008 a Euro 09, Individual, CNID Breakthrough Coach, 2005 a Euro 06, References. External links, Paulo Bento at footballs.co.uk, Stats at Fora de Jogo, Coach Stats at Fora de Jogo, Stats at Liga de Futebol Profissional, Football Profile, Paulo Bento at national-football-teams.com, Paulo Bento a Euro FIFA competition record.